Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We are back again with our DevSec on India live stream where we talk about everything security, cybersecurity. So today, without further ado, we're going to be inviting our speaker, but you have to make sure that you connect with us, you ask questions, and this session we want to make sure that it's more discussion. This is a really hot topic. So I'm your host, Vandana, and I would let Karan introduce himself. Karan, over to you.
Thank you, Vandana. Hi, this is Karan Shah. I work with Not So Secure in the training and cybersecurity. I've been a trainer at Black Hat, and I've been, uh, you could say, a co-host with Vandana at Recon Village at DEF CON. I do a lot of conferences, trainings, and this is a good opportunity to co-host DevSecon India and join hands with Vandana ma'am. Right. So
Oh,
we've got some very interesting topic coming up today, right, ma'am?
oh, absolutely, Karan. I think this topic is very, very important. And right now, I think it's talk of the town, and we all want to hear more about this topic.
Right. So it's mostly with respect to AI, mostly because technology has advanced faster than ever, and AI, generative AI, has transformed a lot of things. It's eased out a lot of stuff, development, security. It's been a big picture throughout everything today, and the big question is how to get AI effective in cybersecurity. And for that, we've got a very special guest with us today, which is Kavitha. Kavitha is hi, welcome, Kavitha.
Hi everyone.
Hi. So Kavita is a consulting partner in TCS, and what I'll do is I'll let her introduce herself. So Kavita, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Karan and Vandana, for inviting me today for in this amazing event, and I'll be happy to discuss on this hot topic, which is definitely a digital transformation that we are seeing in today's world. And to tell about myself, I come with 2 decades of experience in and around cybersecurity, data privacy, and business resilience. I worked with global companies and currently with TCS, and looking forward to share some key insights that I've experienced and looking forward for change in today's environment. Thank you.
Thanks, Kavita. Yeah, Karan, the stage is all yours, and Kavita, we're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
All the best.
All right. So this
Thank you.
discussion will we'll go into a deep dive into how AI is reshaping cybersecurity, what security teams can do to stay ahead, and how they can use AI in their day-to-day pen test or other security practices. Here we'll go ahead try talking about strategies for integrating AI into security processes, or see where human expertise can come into picture, what AI where it can help replace and what AI cannot help replace, and a lot more. Right. So all set, Kavita.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
when we're
let's just
talking, or
yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Karan.
No, you can continue. Sorry.
No, just wanted to say that AI definitely is coming into picture, but one thing we all have to be very very confident about is how much of our artificial intelligence is going to evolve and influence the network. Human intelligence is always superseding in all areas, so we have to be confident on that. That's what I wanted to start off with. Go ahead,
Yep.
Karan.
Yep. Um, so what do you think? How has AI, the transformation into AI, impacted the cybersecurity landscape?
Sure. As you were saying, the digital transformation that is changing day by day, and the technology is growing, utilizing the growing technologies is humongous, right? Significantly changing in the recent times, and the traditional security methods that we are currently practicing in our environment is no longer sufficient for the organizations to compete with the technology that is changing, right? So there are several areas. If I could quote top three areas where I feel there is an impact is especially the expanded attack surface, interconnected systems, and the cloud-based cloud computing environment that we are applying these technologies, specifically in mobile devices as well. Even the day to day, the mobile devices that we are using with the technology that is developed, say the biometric or different apps that we're using, is having a significant impact. Maybe the technology is easy to use and it's giving the comfort to the users, but there is always an impact which is increasing the uh, threats. So that second area that I feel there is an impact is the evolving cyber threats. There are sophisticated phishing, sophisticating phishing campaigns that is happening on a day to day basis. The kind of attacks that is increasing, the frequency is it's significantly increasing year on year, right? What we compare from 2024 to 2025, the percentage has gone up by 33% as per the recent surveys. So that is also takes to a next change in the environment, is the need for advancing the cybersecurity services that we are working on currently. It starts with the proactive measures that we have to do, or the first and foremost step that we need to take is by doing an RCSA. That is like risk and compliance self assessment. It's like doing a self assessment to the self. The organization should take that initiative to see where we stand. Are we growing the security with the technology that is growing, or are we an old legacy which needs a change? So these are all the places it's equally impacting, as well as a change is required in today's environment, Karan.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, if you talk about integrating such kind of advancements and having automation to such an extent come into picture, how do you see the cultural
Right.
aspect change? How do you see security teams adapting to such? I mean, it's definitely a culture change, right? When you talk about something
Right.
that changes the normal flow of process, some people might not be a lot of welcoming to it. So, what do you think? How welcoming are people towards this kind of a shift?
Right. So that's a nice question. The first thing is, we have to first accept and adapt to this change that is coming into the cybersecurity environment, I would say, because it's not that it's it's a two-sided sword, right? AI, it's on the positive and the negative side. We should always see on the positive side how it's going to influence the network or influence cybersecurity and help us in advancing the services that we are providing, and not on the other side on the threats and pros and cons that is always there on all the technologies, right? So how we are going to adapt, the vigilance and the adaptation to this new technology is very important for the organization. And second, as I said, a proactive security preparedness. We will have to proactively check, how reactive is the traditional practices that we are working on, how we can identify and mitigate the gaps that is prevailing in our environment, is the second step that the organization should address and take necessary actions on. And the cybersecurity culture that our organization have been built and currently practicing, we will have to ensure and develop an awareness with the cybersecurity team, or at an enterprise level also. Only when we are focused on the cybersecurity, uh, it's not a formula, right? Applying the formula, it wouldn't be like we are 100% compliant or 100% we are safe without an attack. There is always a place, a loophole for the threats to evolve. But we can't expect the cybersecurity team to be aware about everything and apply the same formula in all the places, which needs to be understood and addressed, right? So the cybersecurity team as well needs the necessary training to build that cybersecurity culture, to understand and adapt to this AI, right? So this is some of the places that we will have to understand and address from an organizational standpoint, Karan.
Right. I mean, if you talk from an organization standpoint, trainings is, I mean, yeah, you said a very, very, could say, nice statement that there is training that is definitely required. And what I feel is that that would differ from designation to designation. I mean, someone on a CEO level would have a different form of a training compared to someone who
Right.
is a security engineer. And that's how, I mean, trainings will definitely help. That was an
Right.
amazing point.
Right. Right.
What key strategies do you think can help remain agile in the face of such kind of technological changes?
Right. First and foremost, as I said, as a individual, be it at an organization, it's a huge initiative. But as an individual, we have to embrace an agile mindset. We will have to accept there is a new technology that is coming into picture. It's not that I know everything and I can apply the formula in all the places. So that agile mindset should come in to learn what is growing, and the growth mindset is very important to experiment and to learn from the failures or any kind of errors that may arise, right? We'll have to get that continuous learning and growth mindset. So, and second is we might be using different kinds of tools across different applications or functions. So we'll have to integrate that security in a development life cycle. We'll have to see how we can leverage our current protocols or current systems that we are using into this new technology by changing the manual efforts into automation. Definitely, cybersecurity has lots of places where its enablement is required. Some can be in manually practiced and some automated. But how AI can help us in advancing the services, that needs to be looked into, and use that for fostering the collaboration with the new technology that is developing, and utilize different kinds of methodologies which can help us to stabilize the initiatives that we are taking for improving the current practices in the organization. So those are the some places I would be saying the strategies that the individual at an individual level that that we need to take, because enterprise definitely will work. Every function has its own level of responsibility. But if you ask me, cybersecurity alone doesn't own the security of the organization. It stands and it still from an individual standpoint, each and every individual plays a very crucial role in an organization. We all can say there'll be queries, how can I become critical? I'm working in a non-critical project, I don't connect to critical networks, so how do I become critical, right? That'll be the first question when we ask the employees to do the trainings and awareness and the mandatory courses and all. But to tell you why the organization is giving you a set of trainings or set of mandatory courses to complete is nothing but you play a very crucial role. Because what the predators or the hackers are looking for is a small toll gate, right? A small place to influence the network. So that can happen through anywhere, right? If whenever we connect to the network, whenever our laptop is connected to the network of the company, even if you're working in a critical or a non-critical project, but still you stay as a toll gate to the organization, right? When they get a key to that enter the network, that the whole organization is impacted. So please understand that each and every individual in an organization is a data owner, and you play a very crucial role in protecting the organization. I would end with that.
Makes a lot of sense. I totally agree with you.
Okay.
Okay, so now, if since you've been overlooking the consulting practice, uh, what do you think? How are adversaries leveraging AI for performing advanced cyber attacks, and what role will AI play over here? Why is AI getting so much limelight?
So AI or Gen AI, which is getting into the limelight, is of the benefits that an organization or adversaries are seeing in this, right? And AI is gaining this traction in cybersecurity specifically because its ability to automate the efforts that we are manually utilizing, or we are struggling to analyze the data that is available in the network. For example, if I take a BFSI network, right, there are humongous number of data of customer data is managed, and whenever they try to classify or categorize, they are trying to analyze the data, there is always a failure because some metadata is getting missed. So if that is getting missed, it can be manual error or some kind of issues that we are struggling with. There are different reason which will not be able to find out. But using AI is definitely a place where it can help us to automate the respective task whichever is required by the organization, and to proactively analyze if there are any unforeseen threats, right? That's one thing why AI is getting the traction. And the second is more than data analysis, it gives a improved threat detection support for the organization. But how, right? for example, we take the SOC, right? For a SOC, we always have a SOC operations running out with L1, L2, and L3. We have different teams monitoring, and the L2 investigates, and L3 gets into for managing the incident if it occurs, and all that, right? Different layers, created and built across the organizations. But we always, react when there is an incident that occurs. We get into a call. We'll try to use the incident response plan and try to solve it. But to avoid that, how proactively we can take measures, that's where AI helps, right? Using AI algorithms, if we are able to build a threat detection module, that helps us to analyze the ongoing risks by analyzing the data from all the data logs, right? It collects the data, it analyzes and sees if there is any unforeseen threats prevailing in the environment, and gives the alert at the some at the earliest, so that we'll be able to learn about the attack in advance and take necessary action without without any due delays, right? So that's one another place where it is helping us. And third place would be on the behavioral analytics, right? So whenever we are talking about this predictive analysis, it using AI, we'll be able to analyze the historical data and predict the future trends as well, or predict the future attacks that can be happening at our environment or of any specific organization, I would say. So that is another place where this AI is helping with the other things like advancing the security capabilities and so on, I would say. Okay.
Nice. Would you like to share any examples of such recent AI driven attacks or threats that you've come across in recent times?
Right. If I see of the attacks that is recently happening, I would say the AI-driven cyber attacks are defined or coming through little sophisticated manner, in a very sophisticated manner. Especially we take this phishing. The phishing attacks are so realistic that it is highly convincing and personalizing the way that emails are bypassing the traditional security emails or security measures that were applied to avoid such phishing emails. It is able to bypass the tools that were enabled for filtering the phishing emails, right? So this is also a place where an organization should sit back and understand what is the kind of tools that they're using for filtering or avoiding any phishing emails that is trying to influence the network, so that it stands with the user definitely who gets the email. But again, to filter before it reaches the user, what kind of system or the tools that we are using to avoid that or to minimize that has to be analyzed. And we have to look into the phishing tools as well, right, for avoiding the social attacks. And second place where I'm finding this AI driven cyber attacks or threats is on the malware, right? Malware, AI can generate new malwares, right? That is very difficult to identify with the evolving security threats that is prevailing in the environment currently. So when the new malwares are coming with different types of convincing model, then we'll have to definitely see what kind of system are we using for avoiding the malware attacks, what kind of securities we have enabled or governing our system currently. We'll have to analyze and try to avoid the malware attacks and deep fakes and targeted data extraction from the users and misleading the users. I would say GPS is one current misleading application that we are all are using. GPS I'm using because we all use GPS wherever we wanted to go, right? That has become, we don't use a person, we don't believe the person anymore. Anywhere that we are missing track, we always use the GPS to track where we want our destination, correct? So what is happening nowadays is GPS is end of the day a system, and it is not something that we can rely on at any point of time. You would have seen some recent incidents where an individual followed the GPS, and instead of seeing the road, he was just following the GPS in the mobile, and he drowned in a lake, right? That was not the destination that he needs to arrive in. But unfortunately, because he was just relying on the machine and not on the technology and not on the human intelligence, he had to face that you know uh, very bad phase. So we'll have to always ensure how much ever we are using the technology and growing with the technology, there is always applying human intelligence, and taking a decision should fall with the human at the end of the day, and not on the system or on the technology.
That's an amazing point. So I remember, so you see, because we've seen a lot of automation coming with the help of AI and other
Yeah.
automated tools. And since I've been an application security guy throughout my experience, I remember doing some attacks in a manual perspective way or through manual pen test. And like for example, business logic. Like if you say, you know what I mean, we all know what a business logic attack is, right? Somehow we manipulate
Right.
the cart value, or somehow we manipulate the product details, or something like that. Now this is where human mindset comes into picture, and this automation and
Yeah.
AI is going to fall. This is where it's going to fall short. So that
Right.
is a very interesting point that you spoke about. So if you speak about human intervention and how where
Yeah.
human mind would play a role, how would you go about balancing AI automation along with human manual approach? Where would you find the balance?
Um, I would definitely say it's with the human intelligence that we will have to definitely relying too much on AI can create a cybersecurity skill gap, right? As people rely more on the technology than their intelligence, this can lead to security teams becoming more complacent. And as they assume that AI system will detect better than human intelligence, then we are definitely falling behind in space, right? So
Right.
in human intelligence, so we have to use AI tool as a use AI as a tool and not as a replacement for human intelligence. That's the first mindset that we have to arrive at. And AI definitely will be helpful for us by automating automating the tools or automating the services that cybersecurity team is working on, helping the customers more, correct? So we should use it as a tool and not as a replacement for themselves. And a lot of people were also coming up stating, what if will it replace the humans? We are working, 20 people are working there, will we be replaced with the AI? It's definitely not. End of the day, AI is a tool, and it is definitely not a replacement for human, right? End of the day, the decision will be taken by the individual to proceed with that or to stop with whichever level they are working on. So it is a tool to automate the effort. It's an automated tool, and definitely not a replacement for human, is what I would like to convey here.
The point about AI replacing human efforts is quite haunting, to be honest. But yeah, like,
It's
I
definitely
completely
not.
agree with you. Yeah, I completely agree with you that it's not completely going to replace us. There's always a human mind needed for this to function properly and to do
Yes.
quite a lot of things that
Right.
AI cannot. Right.
Uh,
Now, speaking about integrating AI in your cybersecurity workflow, what
yeah.
controls would benefit the most?
What controls, if we see, as I was saying, there are a couple of places where AI can be applied. One specifically, if I have to call out, is threat detection, right? The threat detection and response is a very important activity in the cybersecurity function. So if we are going to apply this AI in the cybersecurity control for a faster response and to communicate whenever there is a need, that is going to be threat detection and response is a control where it can be applied. And a second one is on the advanced endpoint. The endpoint security is also a very important place where a standout, it has to manage the incoming and the outgoing traffics, where it plays a very crucial role in protecting the threat environment. So endpoint protection is another place where cybersecurity can utilize this AI to I would say. Second one is that behavioral analytics, as I was saying,
Sorry
it
to
will
interrupt,
help
Vandana. Your voice is
the
cracking up.
yeah, please.
Your voice is cracking up
My
again.
voice is cracking.
Yeah, you just froze
Is it
for a few
mine?
seconds. Yeah,
Oh, I'm really sorry. Is it okay now?
yeah, it looks better
Is
now.
it okay now?
Yeah,
Okay. So as I believe you heard the first two. One is the endpoint. First is the threat detection and response. Second is on the endpoint security. And the third, I would definitely say, is behavioral analytics to understand the historical data and to analyze the unforeseen risks for the organization to take proactive measures. These are top three areas that I would highlight here.
Awesome. Okay.
You're able to hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better.
Okay.
It's better now. Yeah. So if I talk about
Okay.
threat intelligence, what what is your perspective
Mm.
towards threat intelligence with AI? Because see, we see a lot of different variations of threat intelligence as an output coming up. Different people have different approach towards threat intelligence, and having a trustworthy threat intel and
Yeah.
reacting to a threat to the whole workflow for threat intelligence. What do you think? Where can AI help, and what can it improve?
Mm. Yeah. So AI driven threat intelligence definitely helps us in enhancing the incident response, and by threat hunting, it provides a faster pace with more accurate detection of unforeseen risks that I was saying. It will help us in prioritizing or categorizing the type of attack that is foreseen, and it will also help us to respond immediately by analyzing the level of threat. Is it, it is low, medium, or high? For us to really discuss and come out to a conclusion will take little time, but this helps us in reducing the turnaround time. It will be in a position to respond in a more quicker manner, and that is another place where AI will be helping in incident response that we are working on. And another portion where we can take help of AI is on creating a playbook. Playbook is always also a place where there is lots of analysis that we do. We try to take time for analyzing what happened in the history and what is the threats that is evolving, and how to document in a very organized manner. For that, AI definitely helps in documenting and generating a playbook, but we'll have to be very cautious, because when we are taking help of AI, it is not copy and paste. Please keep in mind, it is not copy and paste. It is always going to be taking the help of the tool to get some guidance, right? Because when you see the other side of the sword, as I was saying, it will mislead the information. That is one of the biggest risk of AI, because if it's going to provide you some information, we cannot just take that as a bible and use it, because there is copyrights, right? There is a risk, because it will just take the information and just pour everything as much as possible, but you don't know if you can use it or not, which has to be validated by human to see what kind of data it is providing. Will I be able to use it? Should I use it as a guideline to build my playbook? That has to be analyzed and then utilized. Okay, that is a risk that we have to keep in mind, not only for this activity, for any activity that we are using AI, have to be always analyzed by the human and understand the expectation and use it very intelligently. Okay.
So, one very interesting point that I liked
And
from your
AI can be for incident reporting.
sorry, sir, please
Sorry,
continue. Please continue.
is it okay
Please
now?
continue. Point. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, please continue.
Okay. 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 So as I was saying, it also helps us in reporting, in creating a reporting during an incident, because reporting is very important, because to set up a call to join as all the get all the team's attention and sending out a public communication, all that would take time. But using this AI automation, we will be able to send out a communication without any challenges in a very fast and very clear manner. So these are some places that it would help in incident management, right?
Yep. Yep. I mean, quite efficient to have AI coming into these places. But
Right,
there's one
right.
one interesting point that I will like to catch on to from your response is about
Is
misleading,
yes,
where AI can mislead. So there are risks that's
yes,
a specific risk that AI. I mean, there's this. It's a very generic message that AI always comes up saying that. I mean, it can make errors. So you can't
ah,
100% rely on what
correct.
um, this is. But speaking of risks, what do you think? What other challenges could you come across when you go ahead and talk about having AI coming into the picture with threat modeling or incident management?
Right. So the key challenges that that's already I highlighted and will emphasize that is we will have to always um, you know check if the data that we are seeing and using are transparent, are reliable, and as well as ethically designed. Right. We should not go blindly with what it is providing, because it will be including or it will be ending up in data privacy concerns, and it would be even a copyrights issue, because somebody's intellectual property or any kind of confidential data, AI will have access today. That's the threat level that we are all living in, because our data is exposed. Similarly, all the public data. So whatever data that AI has more intelligence, it will bring in data, but how efficiently and very intelligently you're using that data is plays the role, right? Ensure it is reliable, transparent, and ethically available for us to use wherever we are going to use that data. Okay.
It makes sense. So how conflicting can this be? Because let's say if we've got a team who's been working in one direction, but if AI comes in and changes the direction completely, gives a completely different standpoint or a completely different alternative, and that
Mm,
can eventually become conflicting because your team is already organized, it's already well versed with working in
mm.
the original workflow with respect to incident management or some rules that incident management comes into picture with. And if AI completely changes the game, how conflicting and can that be, and how do you manage such kind of a conflict?
The conflict definitely would be there, but if we are ensuring, as I said, how we are, introducing that in our environment, the key considerations definitely while you are introducing should be on, taking the necessary consent from the individual or from the function or from the stakeholders, how transparent you are maintaining the data, and how you're protecting the unauthorized access that is prevailing in your environment. That is plays a very key role, because the conflict of interest is not only at an individual or organization level, it also goes beyond the boundaries of the stakeholders, the third parties that we work with, or the fourth parties. It will have to always be transparent in what we are doing, so that the communications are very clear and we are able to go in a very ethical manner. So this is the thing I could say.
That's an interesting point. So now that I've spoken about some technical fronts,
Mm,
what would you think about compliance and AI? No, I'm sure we do come across a lot of compliance, right? We can come across
mm,
CIS benchmarks. There could be HIPAA,
mm,
it could be SOX, it could be PCI
mm,
related compliance.
mm,
Multiple organizations have their own custom rules for compliance,
mm,
right? So,
mm.
what do you think AI can do with this? How does AI help with checking for compliance or managing compliance in an organization?
If we're talking about compliance for AI specifically, we have, I hope we're all aware, AI has its own standard, right? ISO 42001. We'll have to, that helps us as a guideline, which AI also, request for the same, but how AI will help in doing the or meeting the expectations of the standard is, again, we are using various tools, right? Be it XYZ tools that we use for doing an assessment, right? We are so far doing a qualitative assessment, right? By doing a subjective analysis, we categorize the risks into high, medium, and low. We have the interaction. If there is any gaps identified, we mitigate and we close the register. However, if we are going to use AI, applying this automation, we can quantify the risk. So I'm sure a lot of product companies are coming with a cyber risk quantification, where this kind of automating the risks that we are currently working around. If you're quantifying the risk, we'll be able to talk to the management for a quicker decisions and quicker decisions can be taken, because when we are going to go with the quantifying risk. So this is the risk that we have. If there is going to be a disruption that's going to occur, this is the loss to the company. And if we have to go for a solution, this is the investment that we have to put, and this would be the loss if there is going to be non-closing of this risk that is identified. So how much is the investment if you have to close this risk, and how much we have to invest if there is going to be, or how much we have to lose if there is going to incident have to occur. If you're going to show the numbers of the risks that we are facing today, that will give the management or the board of directors a time to turn around quickly, and we'll be able to close the gaps with a more effective manner, rather than going with only a subjective analysis, which never, we all know that it never compromises, convinces our board of directors, because they are not okay with the business case that we are coming up with. So this AI would help us in automizing or quantifying the risk, by doing an assessment in a more quantified manner. So that's one place that it can help, and it can also do a granular level analysis by using automation. This is definitely, I'm not saying that the risk assessment process or the standard guidelines is going to change, but it can help us in automizing the efforts that we are currently working on. Already we have tools, but the existing tools or the existing product vendors also are aligning or adapting to this AI to automate their efforts in a more effective manner, and it's going to evolve day by day. Yeah.
That's quite an amazing point.
Yeah.
So now, if I talk about the business aspect, when let's say if an organization thinks about bringing in AI,
Mm.
what impact does this put on business? I mean, if a business point of view decides to go and invest on AI based security solutions,
Mm. Mm.
what would be the rate of you could say what would be the return of investment on such kind of aspects? What is your perspective?
First and foremost, cybersecurity itself, we all, or the organization first ask is, they don't respond, or they don't, come back on a priority, because it's always an non-ROI, right? It's not that there is going to be any kind of revenue. But still, with the recent attacks that is evolving day by day, even in the last 1 month, you would have seen, right? In the UK region, within a month, there were three major, organizations were hit in the retail market. So, be it M&S or Coop or Harrods, they all were continuously it's like a targeted sector for the predators. That's the talk of the town. But if they are, it's not that they didn't have a cybersecurity posture or a cybersecurity culture in their organization, but where is the gap, right? Because where are the controls that needs to be enabled, and where we have to relook into to strengthen our environment, is where the board of directors have to come in. I believe after that, or in the due course, in the recent times, the board of director or the management is giving priority. They are giving the commitment to invest in cybersecurity. That has to evolve. And ROI, definitely, when they are investing, they should not be looking for what I'll get return, but they have to track of how a adoption will curve to their success of this investment or the organization level. How we can they have to analyze the efficiency, how it's increasing the efficiency, how how strong it is to be sustainable, how we can examine the loss that may occur if we are going to miss this adaptation that needs to be done in an organization. If we are going to miss in this improvement area, what will be the impact? If AI is giving you efficient response and efficient ways in how you can improve the current control systems, the organization should look at how they can strengthen the current security system, rather than thinking of the ROI, I would say. Because if they're going to invest, if it's going to be 1 million, for example, that's the investment that they're going to do in strengthening the controls, the loss is going to be in 100 million. So which is better for the organization should take a call.
Quite a tricky call to make, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, such
Yeah, definitely,
that's
the
such
organizations are realizing that, and the management is giving that commitment as increased nowadays.
yep, totally agreed with you. So if in case now let's say if I had to talk about DevSecOps and AI, that's because we see
Mm,
a lot of organizations doing shifting left today. I mean,
mm,
we
mm,
the development teams having shifting left, and then having security practices coming into picture. So if you get in AI, what I've come across a lot of blogs with respect to DevSecOps and AI SecOps and a lot
mm,
with respect to this.
mm,
What is your
mm,
take on having AI and DevSecOps getting collaborated into each other? What so if you talk about DevSecOps in the first place, the DevOps people, if you tell developers that okay, security is a part of their job as well, like it's not going to be a very welcoming. If you're not going to get a very welcoming response from developers, if you talk
mm,
about
mm.
compulsory putting in secure coding, that kind of culture change is slowly coming into picture, is what I feel. And now, if
Right.
you talk about AI also in this,
Mm.
what is your perspective in this situation?
Definitely, this is more like a cross-functional collaboration, right? So this definitely is going to enhance the cybersecurity space for fostering for a holistic view of security. It enables, it enables the control systems by bringing in togetherness experts to in different areas, like DevSecOps or other cloud computing or other areas. It can definitely help in increasing the potential of the of protecting the environment. It can be easy to analyze the vulnerabilities that is prevailing in the environment, respond to threats more faster if there's going to be a collaborative effect, and it would be faster in the threat responses as well when it's going to evolve. I'm sure DevSecOps is also applying AI in definitely in different stages. They have a different static and dynamic culture, right? They are trying to introduce AI in the environment so that they'll be in a position to get a proactive predictions and proactive measures that would be provided to the in the life cycle of DevSecOps, so that it could help the development cycle to have more efficient results, is what I would say.
It makes a lot of sense. Now, if let's say there's an organization who's making use of AI. Now, AI
Mm,
at times would, if I had to talk about security practices with AI, and
mm,
the
mm,
response might end up becoming unethical. Let's say
mm,
it
mm,
for the AI workflow, it might not be an unethical thing, but on a real time basis,
mm,
for that organization to
mm.
execute something like that can be unethical in that sense. So, such kind of situations where there are ethical concerns with respect to AI, what would
Mm.
how would how would you like look into this kind of a challenge?
Right. Ethical considerations, is very important because, as I said, be it the internal, people, or if it's going to be any stakeholders or any third party, everywhere the ethical consideration is very important. Ensuring there is an informed consent. That's one thing. And ensuring the data that we are using as a transparency in using the data, and it is well informed and maintained in a very ethical manner. And if there is any access that is provided, maybe it is internal or external, it has to be in a very authorized unauthorized access should be provided to the respective individuals based on the role that they are playing. This definitely addresses the ethical concerns. It connects back to the GDPR, right? Privacy plays a very key role in this AI adoption in the security practice, definitely. So adopting to this, AI would definitely call out for involving privacy by design principles, for sure. Ensuring that the data that we are using, sharing, and adopting are transparent and well informed, as well as it is completely integrated with the right set of access. And we can also ensure to avoid any kind of unethical in between, or the process have to be completely in the required format or in the required manner. It has to be maintained. There has to be a regular audit, especially internal or external audits. We have to have a regular audit cycle that needs to be conducted on an as per the frequency the organization sets, and ensuring there is there is no left outs, or there is not going to be any kind of conflicts while we are working on these audits. Because anything that we try to, it's like a doctor and patient relationship. Okay, if you're going to hide anything from the auditor, the auditee has to face the consequences when it comes to the real time. So you have to be really transparent when we are going through an audit cycle, because they are trying to help us in being like a bridge line between the internal and the external platform that we have to face. So we'll have to always be cooperative, ensure we are transparent in the way we are communicating, in letting them know the reality. Only then we'll be able to protect ourselves from the internal and external threats. So those are some of the points I would say.
Quite interesting. It is a difficult spot to be put in such kind of situations, but yeah, your points make a lot of sense. Um, let's talk about something with respect to resilience, AI's resilience in cyberspace.
Right.
How do you want to achieve AI resilience in the context of cybersecurity, and what steps would you take in achieving resilience?
Okay. So that's an interesting question, because resilience is a term that is used in all the platforms, right? Be it business resilience, cyber resilience, AI. Now it's come to AI resilience in the cyberspace. So resilience is the capacity of an AI system to recover from incidents, recover from any kind of unforeseen threats that we are facing on a day-to-day basis. So this definitely will impact the performance if we are going ahead with our security controls without changing from the old legacy system. So using this AI functionality, we should not alter the expectation or the standard guidelines of the AI standard. We will have to ensure the resilience of an AI is efficient when we are going to follow the guidelines, and ensure the severity and the frequency of the incident that occurred so far, or that is expected. Everything have to be transparently fed inside the system, and we'll have to support in increasing the resilience of the organization as well as the AI, based on the transparency of data that we are feeding into the system. Hope that answers the query.
Okay. So I would want to catch on to some points, but then I
Yeah,
that is
please.
actually coming up to my next question itself. How can,
Yeah.
let's say, if there's a cross function collaboration happening? We spoke about cross
Yes.
function stuff,
Yeah.
but how can that enhance AI resilience in the cyberspace?
Okay. First and foremost, before we go to the cross-functional collaboration, first thing that we'll have to change the mindset. We will have to change the mindset. There has to be the first and foremost on regular training, right? The training and building awareness is the key to any organization for introducing this crucial technology into the environment, so that AI resilience in cyberspace is achieved in a very more holistic manner, and not at a very project level or an engagement level. We have to see that it is not that one function is driving AI and the other functions are using the old legacy model. Whenever we are adapting to any new AI technology or any technology that we are adapting to, it has to be a cross functional collaboration that will give you to improve the organization's current resilience in a more holistic manner. There has to be a diverse team who brings in a competent environment. There has to
Um,
be team who are trained and leading more comprehensive risk assessments and better strategies for mitigating the threats, right? So the cross functional collaboration will enhance the air resilience once the team gets together, trains themselves, and we have competent resources to lead the risk assessment in a very effective manner. So, how else the cross-functional collaboration can help in
Kavitha,
enhancing?
sorry to
Yeah, please.
interrupt. Your
No
video
problem.
is frozen and your voice is breaking up again.
Is it okay now?
Um, your audios come back normal, but your video is just completely frozen.
Is it okay now? I'm sorry. Sorry for
Um,
the disturbance in between. And if it's
yeah,
okay now, shall I go
apologies for
ahead?
this. We're still having
Is it?
some challenge with it.
But is the audio good so that I can carry on
Yeah,
with that if the audio is good?
the
Yeah.
audio is good. Yeah.
Okay. So as I was saying, I believe you heard to some extent the cross-functional collaboration will definitely enhance the AI resilience. For that, we will have to have a competent set of resources who would help to lead this initiative in a more effective manner, and faster threat response using this AI resilience, and improved communication, that is the turnaround time of the communication will be improved, and the decision making, which takes a long time for having this manual discussions, and it goes to and fro without understanding what's the history, and what about the future, right? We will take some time to analyze about the history and then about the future attacks that is foreseen. So using this AI, it will enhance in better decision making, and the cross functional collaboration can lead to more informed and well reasoned decisions about cybersecurity investment and the strategies. So these are and continuous improvement as well, I would say. When we are having this cross collaboration, this will facilitate us to understand the risks and the threats at a holistic manner, so that the right set of improvement areas can be addressed, and the organization will always adapt to the new best practices that is required.
All right.
Hope that was clear.
Yeah, that was good. Your voice also returned normal, back to normal, so that's a good sign as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Right. So we had some real good conversation with respect to AI coming into cybersecurity, and I guess we'll also be closing now with this session. So,
Sure.
yeah, as a closing note, what would be your final giveaway on how to implement AI, like in the you could say in a concluding note point of view?
Okay. Sure. So, first quote that I would say is, AI is important. Artificial intelligence is need to be taken as a tool and not as a replacement for a human. That has to be the quoted language. And we'll have to also keep in mind that AI is helpful for us for advancing or enhancing the cybersecurity practices that we are currently using, but we'll have to be careful about how we are utilizing it to be avoiding any kind of risks that I discussed. By misusing that will also affect the environment that we are working in. So use it bravely and and effectively to increase the cybersecurity controls in a more effective manner. Thank you.
Right. So I'm seeing the chat, and I see few of us attendees over here has put on some questions. One question that I see is how about the tools to test LLM and AI?
Sorry, what was the question?
One question that has been put on chat is how about the tools to test LLM and AI?
So there are different tools. That's a generic question, because AI or AI is integrated into different tools, right? Be it on threat detection, or be it on even GRC, vulnerability management, endpoint protection, or endpoint security. There are different tools and different technologies that is growing day by day, and the technologies are getting adopted by the existing products that we are using, and the products that maybe in the old legacy we were using, for example, an A tool, because I don't want to quote on this call on any product or tool name, sorry. But I would like to tell, there are the products which we are using already are increasing or developing themselves in adopting to this AI, and this AI is available in almost all the tools nowadays. So for what purpose you're going to use the tool for, we have to utilize accordingly, because I would say AI is available in all the tools and they are enhancing day by day.
Right. So the person who put this question sees a big gap in testing LLM and AI from the security LLM and AI tools from the security point of view. So that is what got the concern of how about testing those tools out. So there are some quite interesting blogs that I've read with respect to sandbox and AI, but maybe digging into those areas and identifying the roots of the model and seeing flaws over there might help.
You're right. Agree.
All right. Yep, that was an amazing session, and thanks again, Kavitha, for joining us over here and giving you key insights towards having security and AI in the same boat, and how can you balance the boat. So it was really interesting. The key point, some key pointers that you said were outstanding. I would say. I mean, that actually gives a lot of insight. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Karan, and for your good set of questions. And it was a very interactive session. If there is any queries, please do let me know offline also anytime, so that we'll all be in a position to respond whenever required. Thanks, everyone,
Right.
and thanks, Karan and Vandana, for inviting me here today. Thanks. Bye.
It's a pleasure. For our viewers, you've got a chat option in the live YouTube session, so you can go ahead, post your questions over there, or reach out to Kavita over social media, and I'm sure she'll definitely be happy to answer back to your questions. All right, then. I'll just stop the stream now. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. It was a great session, and stay tuned for the next session. We'll be posting details with respect to it on social media. Take care.